Hi Dee. Hi everyone. I tried to go live. It will let me go live on my computer, but it will not let me go live on my phone. So, oh well. We will not go live and we will go out into the woods instead. Kyle, I'm coming in this way. I don't have a bell over here, so I just wanted to let him know it's me. This is the No-No Woods, coming in from where you park your car. You can see that this is very tight through here. There's all kinds of different paths and stuff through here. Coming down this one this time. Kyle, I'm coming this way. I tried. Last night I made a video where I walked down the road all the way from my house all the way up here and back. Made an hour video and I just could not make Clipchamp make a video out of it. I tried 3 times, it failed 3 times, and I was finally like, screw it. All right. You can hear the car going by behind me. Now you can see out in this part of the woods, there's none of that little small sticks anywhere. Yeah, I lied. There's 1 or 2. They could be natural, but in the little woods out behind my house, there's a ton of those little sticks leaned against the trees. I mean, some of them are 10 feet long, but they're still only real skinny. Out here, though, like I showed in the my No-No video, out by the No-No tree, there's some really, really big structures out here. Walking through the happy spider webs. And this is a hardwood and white pine forest. You can see on the ground I'm really not walking through leaves, even though it's fall. Kyle! I'm out here today. Don't get pissed off. I told Dee way in the beginning that I'd only do this on a dare. But I was right in there the first time when they came and sat behind me and walked up behind me and sat down when I was playing Dee's video. Back then I was still a little bit leery of the woods, but I've been out here so many times now. This particular tree, this one. I'm on the main trail now. It goes down through here. It's a little deeper in than the trail I was on before. Kyle! Just like last night, my voice echoes in here crazy. I don't have my big light on yet. This time I was smart. My tablet, I downloaded one of Dee's videos on it so that I would not have to necessarily stay near it. But my tablet doesn't have a Wi-Fi hotspot on it, so I can't run my projector with it. I just have to it's a little bit overly bright right there, but right there, that tree's little limb has been ripped off of there. Little limb's been ripped off of there, and the limb's not sitting on the ground. Right. Right down here is the beginning of the no-no woods. Kyle! Whoop! This is a nice wide open spot in here. Let me see if I can swipe up to unlock. Okay, open YouTube.
You over in that way. I was wanting to go in here. Did you guys just hear that? I'm doing great. How are you? Even though my lights are already being stupid, we're not playing this game. Don't drain my lights, please.
All right.
I want to keep breaking it. Something just landed over here.
There you go, Dee.
When they land, sometimes you can feel it. Great.
Heard an owl.
Yeah, they usually try to.
The other part of the woods across the road.
In an area where I'm headed in a direction I'm not supposed to. Is that a baby? Oh, it's a little possum. Even though I'm staying away from you because you're evil.
There's Dee playing in the woods. You can still hear her. It's not super loud, like megaphone loud, but it's loud. Not as loud as that owl. Kyle! Up through the trees. Right there. Almost a full moon. Not quite, but almost. All right, now from my video. Whoop! My video that you, if you watched a video, that's the no-no woods all the way down through there. That right there is that little mound that I was talking about. This way down here just goes down to like where the tractor's turned around, but people tend to go down there and day camp, like eat lunch and stuff. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can still see it. That's Dee playing down there. You can still hear. But this part of the woods is pretty open. So, I do have a couple of these things, which are little square lights that I got from Dollar General. And I can make it work. On mode. Now, supposedly that's a 4-hour timer. And without the light on, you should see that it's a color changing light. Kyle! Woohoo! Oh, my voice is echoey in here. I can still hear Dee, and I'm close to 100 yards from her down there. Put this one on medium so it stays a longer time. So I got 2 of them little square lights. So I'll put them a ways apart. I can look down through there and see all of the different lights. Woohoo! Now you can see that I'm walking pretty good. And there's no leaves to make scuffling in here. So whatever's in here could be very, very... Let's see, got my other light here. Beep, beep. Also a 4-hour timer. And the light. Kyle! Well, obviously this light here can see a lot further than that light. I made it a tiny bit bigger. Can't quite see as far, but I can see a lot bigger of a circle. You can see down through there. I can actually see the light of D still going way on the other side of that, but the phone itself, zooming in just a little bit, now you can just barely see it. Now you're kind of seeing what I see. I try to keep my big light until I start hearing stuff. Last night I actually hooked the tablet right to my chest by turning it upside down and not sure what that is. At first I wasn't sure what that is, but I'm pretty sure that Yeah, I'm hearing a ambulance in the distance. I don't know what I was talking about before I saw that owl poop or whatever kind of poop that is. Now I can just barely see the second light down there. But I made a comment when Dee commented saying that she thinks she has food poisoning and she's not going live tonight, that I made a comment that I'll walk through the no-no woods so she has something to watch this weekend. Kyle! If anything makes a noise in the woods tonight, you're going to hear it for a long ways. This is a massive tree. Go around the massive tree, and now this is what I considered when I was in that video, that this is the angry part of the woods. Whoop! I'll just walk through some. I can still see down there in the very distance that last light. And this is right before that tangled, angry part of the woods where the trail turns a little bit right here. Now, Dee loved this thing. I'd love to show her these woods. Now this has been like this a long time. You can see that all the where the leaves are on the top of this, but this was bent right down to the ground a long time ago. Then, yeah, I would have to say that probably the loggers did it a long time ago. But this is a much bigger, different woods than what is behind my house. It's just the little woods, and there are some big trees in there, but it's relatively small. This is the big woods. There's a road out here, maybe 100 yards, and I walked probably 250 yards. The other road, the big road. But right in here, you have to kind of walk through the prickers on the trail and such. Now I'm parallel with the angry part of the wood. Right there. Right there. You see the top of those right there? That means the no-no tree's right there. So I'm right parallel with the no-no tree right now. And these woods are much more open than my little woods. There's none of those little trees around. Kyle! Whoop whoop! As you can see quite a ways in these woods. Bigger trees. So I walked further in than I thought. I guess the lights are up there where the other part of the woods are, where I call the angry part. I don't feel anything in here today. Look at that structure, Dee. All in the same spot. That one's not hooked to the ground, and it goes way the hell over there. And all of that crap, especially this one here, is to hold that tree down. That's a live, that was a live tree stuck to the ground. And all of it is to hold that big, long tree bent over, because that one's actually hooked to the ground. All the rest of these are not. But that one is locked in between those trees and oh, I almost fell on my face. That was definitely a wood knock using wood that was wet. There's another one. That scared me a little. I almost tripped on, fell on my face. Kyle! I heard you! Or maybe whapping their hand up against the wood. But it sounded like wet wood against a tree. Anyway, way over there, you can see that it's wedged. Now I'm hearing more movement. If I turn around that way, I hear movement. Time to go back out to the path. But anyway, that's that big, beautiful one that I showed where I was in the No Woods video in the daytime. I'll get back out to the path here. There we go. Now I'm back on the tractor path. Sorry. Sorry, Kyle. Did I come around that much of a corner? One of my color changing lights is on the ground right there. Right in there. I know I came around a corner, but it's not moving now. We'll have to see if those lights are still in the same spot when I get back. Kyle! Whoop! Right there, I love them, where they made those great big ones. Now there's other ones that I showed. That one right there, with the great big end sticking up, and that's all using leverage between trees to hold that up. Kyle! I think I'm on the path. Pretty sure I am still. Path is right there. So now I'm on the path. There we go. Now I'm back out on the path. Now there's a pond off to my left, and I hear geese on that pond. Oh, God. Spider webs, of course, are right across my eyeballs. You can see this a little thicker out in here now. And it looks like a path right there. It's not very tall, but it is definitely a path. There's that big tree. The end of that big tree is like 9 feet in the air. Down up there. That thing's awesome. This is the main trail that goes down through, and if I go down through here far enough, off to the right hand side, I might not be able to find it in the nighttime. But there's a tree that looks like a saddle that you can sit on. But it is quiet in here. Absolutely quiet. I can hear the traffic on the road. It's 10 o'clock at night. I can hear the traffic out there. But it is just absolutely quiet. Whoop! Get over here where the trail splits. The trail used to go off that way around this corner like this. But when they logged, they made the trail like a K-turn right here. And they didn't log any further. Kyle! I wonder if that one's hooked to the ground. It looks like it is. Nope, it's just jammed in the ground right there. Leaned up there. Kyle! Now I am... Ow, this little frickin' thing that I have the light in the... I have two phone holders hooked together. One has my light in it and one has the phone on it. And it's all square corners. And it's killing me. It's hard to hold on to. I don't have the tripod hooked to it tonight because I knew I was going to walk away from the video. I'm kind of loath. Look at that one. That one's not hooked to the ground, and that one's leaned way up in that tree. That's 40 feet long. I don't like to make long whoops. Last time I made the long whoop, right across the swamp from me, I got that howl, and that was not cool. But I'm going to do it again, right in the no-no woods, just for you, D. Woo! Still echoing. Whoop whoop. It is just amazingly quiet in here tonight. I'm of the opinion, and I think that some people would have to agree with me that New York winter times are harsh enough where I definitely think that anything that can would either hibernate, like bears and squirrels, even though the weather now is not nearly as harsh as it was when I was growing up. If you had a little thing for me to click yes or no Do the tall men migrate? I would click yes. There's no reason why they couldn't just walk 30 or 40 miles south of here, and their winters would be massively milder. So we're not very far from Lake Ontario. We get some very cold weather. Another one of them stupid mounds. Mound right there. They're all over in this woods. Give you a click. If I can find that. There it is. Now I can see. I don't know where it went. There it is. There's that color changing light, the first one. There's the light's on high now, I believe. Kyle! Whoop! But there's, like big arches out here. Big arches, big things leaned. Whole, not just logs, but an entire trees leaned against each other in here, where I would even say that it probably took several of the tall men to make some of these structures. It wasn't just one of them, unless it was actually was 15 feet tall. When I was young, I built log cabins in the woods, and I know this one here, I showed in my other video, it goes up, it's leaned in the crotch right there, it still goes up, it's dead at the top, right there you can see, not hooked at the bottom. There's no way, I'm 6 foot tall, relatively fit human being, and there is no way that I could do that by myself, especially if it was wet. Even if it was dry, I couldn't do that without rope. I couldn't just manhandle that. But there's none of those little structures in here, none of those little intricate foot-long structures. There are small sticks leaned against other trees, like right there. There's one. I mean, there's that size now. So they're over here. But for the most part in here, it's big, big stuff. I feel nothing. I feel completely alone. Now this right here, I want to show you this tree. This right here is why I would not come in here after Hurricane Debbie. It's probably 120 or 130 feet tall, completely dead white pine. I'm not sure what I just heard. Whoop! Kyle! Are you out there? I don't know if I rubbed my flashlight against my coat or if I heard something brushing through tree limbs. I'm not sure exactly what I just heard. That's awesome. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I must have just seen it through the woods at just the right angle where it seemed like it was out in the woods. I can see all 3 of them now. I can see Dee playing in the background and it's flickering, so she must be playing. So that's what I should do, I guess, is download her video. That way I won't have to worry about getting too far away from it. But I don't hear or see or feel anything in here tonight. Not that you aren't going to stop these videos and nice, very nice and slow here. Because sometimes when I think I see something or remember hearing something when I'm doing the video, I slow the video down to 0.25. And then it's like, it's much easier to stop the video right on the spot where I thought I saw something if it's at real slow speed. So I'm going to very slowly turn around this time. I'll get right here because nothing generally to see right there. All the way down, back to where we were, right there. When that gets down to a real deep purple, it's hard to see it at a distance. Kyle! Now there's quite a big spot around. I'm in kind of like the middle of the state land right here. And back in that direction, across the road I live on, which is 3/4 of a mile down there. Across the road, and then you remember where I went down the railroad tracks and all that, and all the way to the end. That makes it about 1.5 miles that way, and it's at least 1.5 miles this way until you hit the little community that's down there, and that's all state land in between here. And it's varying degree of widths from about 1/2 mile wide to about 1.5 miles wide, with one road really running through it, which is the road that runs at the end of this. This is a seasonal use road. They don't plow it in the wintertime. People do use it a lot, but they don't plow it in the wintertime. So people with 4-wheel drives think they're cool when we get 1 foot of snow or 2 feet of snow and they decide they're going to drive down in it. But if they get stuck, tow trucks aren't allowed to come and help them. Go find that out. But I am completely and utterly alone in here, it feels like. So when I yell, you can hear me reverberate. Kyle! You hear how long that echoes? It's because a lot of leaves fell off underneath here where they don't get any sun anyway. When I came out through here on the road last night, it was the same way. Completely dead quiet. Except Dee was right here on my chest, like right here. And loud, I had it all the way up. Sometimes I was walking without saying anything, and sometimes, because I said, oh, I'm just going to walk and let Dee play and see if I hear anything, but the video was so loud I couldn't hear anything over it. I had to actually shut it off a few times when I heard a howl. I heard an owl hoot. Not a howl, but an owl hoot. Pick this light up. I had to turn the video off just to hear it hoot a second time. La la la. Looking through. See, now it dimmed, the light dimmed down again. See that? I didn't see it dim, but all of a sudden I realized that it's dimmer. Now it's brighter. I don't like that. I know nobody from Icon Lights is ever going to hear this. Thought I saw an eye shine out there, but didn't see it with the big light, just the little one. Not that they can't close their eyes. Kyle! Make a noise! Whoop! I want to get a nice tree knocker like Dee has. Easy enough to make one, I guess. Just a good piece of oak or hickory laminated. Here's another. See that one? That one broke off of that stump. Broke a piece off of it right there. I could hear Dee's voice. But it's way up that tree, just leaning perfectly against that tree now. It seems like it would have just came off of there. Like it done on purpose. Now, even if they were in the little woods expecting me to be in there, it wouldn't take them more than a couple of minutes to walk, and probably 1 minute if they ran down the road to get to me. So it's so dead quiet. If it's dead quiet like this on my next investigation next week, I might stop doing night investigations, because I think they moved on for the winter. Before it gets too harsh, all they got to do is just literally walk south from here. You get down into the southern tier of New York, and the winters are nothing compared to they are up here. They only got to walk 50 or 75 miles. They could do that in a couple of nights. And they would know where to go. It's got to be generational. I'm not sure why they moved in to my woods or moved in up here so that these things were... Oh, yeah, there we go. That's what I heard before. I hit my collar with my flashlight, and that's what I heard before. But it's just why they moved in and why they make things like, okay, this is on the ground, and that one is leaned against that one, which is, this one is held up. This one on the ground is held up by friction of this other bigger one right here, leaning against itself. And then there's this one here, leaned up into that tree right there, that little tree. And it's done in just such a way that two of those are only held up by the gravity, kind of like what I did over there when I stuck that apple to it, and it's just only held in the air by the gravity of itself. So if you take the gravity off of those sticks, they'll fall. There's no way to put them back. But that just shows the complexity of the way they think. They do know how to use friction and gravity. But I walked down there into where the no-no tree is, which is actually this up in here. This right up in here is where the crazy part of the woods is. Right here. See where I was before, where I walked in the woods in the daytime, and that busted off tree that goes down in there, and the ones that are leaned against it and stuff. But that big tree fell down and broke that off, but then there's other ones added to that, and there's big arches all in here. So I'm actually, there's a small arch right up next to the ground right there, and one above it right there. I'm actually in the scary part of the woods right now, but I don't feel anything. If they're around, they're definitely not in here. Look at that. That is like bent almost into a circle. Definite hoop right there. Crazy. And you can see that it's on the ground right there, and it goes in, and then it's held into that crotch right there. That little crotch of that dead tree. How they bent that without breaking it, I'll never know. Very slowly, I imagine. Kyle! Not feeling or seeing anything, hearing anything. These are the woods that the coyotes and the other howlers came from when the one by the swamp howled. This is where they all howled and then started coming towards me, which is why I retreated back into my lawn to give them their space. Nothing messed with my lights. Nothing messed with the video.
Where are you? Go straight. Stick right there.
Messing with necrophonic.
What's out here with me? Ape. See? Thank you. Whatever's here, they won't know how to explain it. Other than that, that's incredible. Is everybody still here? I heard ape, or am I crazy? I hope you heard it.
It is so just blatantly quiet out here.
Bush front left. Yes, everybody, if you get screenshots, please screenshot them and send them to my email. I'll put your names on it, and as long as my email fixes itself.
All right.
I heard it. Yeah, see? I told you. Again, what is out here with me?
A lot more than what's out here with me, D. All right. Out we go. 50 minutes in the quiet, dark woods. This is before I started playing Dee's stuff, and it was earlier in the summertime. Before I got permission to play Dee's videos while I am out here making my own videos. It's just like exactly what happened tonight. Absolutely nothing, just dead quiet. No sound, no movement, no eyes, no nothing. And it was every time at first I was a little bit timid and I wouldn't come out very far, and then I'd go further and further and further. But not until I started to play Dee's videos did I get any sound, any wood knocks, anything. Literally just plain quiet. Every once in a while I'll turn the light back on. Look down through where I can see a long ways. Try to be quiet for a second or two here and there. But I've gotten to where I can feel when I'm being watched. Then the one time I said, oh, I feel like I'm being watched, and it was a freaking raccoon. But when I went through and went real slow through that section where I was panning around, I got a lot of eye shine. A lot of things to circle in the background. I was definitely being watched by multiple things. And the eyes were far too far apart to be raccoons at that distance. Kyle, I'm leaving! I know. I used to come out here. I'll switch. I used to come out here without the big flashlight that I bought, but this is my backup flashlight. It doesn't zoom, and you almost literally can't tell the difference between it and this. See, look. It does not zoom in. It only has just that kind of bluish light. It doesn't have that white, powerful white light. And you can see reasonably good up to maybe 30 yards. And it is a pretty powerful flashlight. You don't want it to be shot in your eyes, but it doesn't zoom in at all. And once that was my flashlight before. This is the flashlight I have now, and it's 2,000 lumens. On my fingers. I'm zooming out. By zooming out, you can see that it is literally like having my other light on high. And then if this one zooms in like this, so you can see a real long ways. But it's no fun because I'm doing all of this and I'm looking off of the screen because I have flashlight in one hand and you in the other hand. I could be pointing you into pitch black and while I'm looking someplace else because I hear something and I forget to tape it. Which is why I hooked these two phone things together. Like that. Now no matter where I point the phone, up, down, and even if I'm accidentally throwing it at the ground, but whatever, you can see. Whatever I'm pointing the phone at, even if I'm not pointing where I'm looking, you can at least see. And I use the phone light to walk with, which is why I'm doing this sometimes. Forget to point the freaking phone in the air. But every once in a while I just point everything straight forward, and then I slowly turn my body to pan so that you can see where my spotlight is pointing. Right now there's no reason for a spotlight. You can't see very far in the woods. This is the little bit thicker part of the woods where the little trees have grown in. Hopefully I have curbed in my normal ability. I didn't realize, probably my whole life I say a lot. In my first couple of videos I realized that when I'm not positive what I'm going to say or what I want to say or how I want to explain something, I say Probably did that my whole life and didn't even notice it till I watched a video of myself. Kyle! Are you out here at all? Now this was something I showed Dee, just a little video of when I showed Dee, and I did not post way before I was actually on YouTube as a posting person. Okay, there is a path. There's an obvious path, right? La la la, here goes the path. The path goes right through there and right over those three. But if a human, why would a human put a path where there's a tree across it 3 feet in the air? It's obviously a used path, and it's too wide to be a deer path. It's like a human path right there. You can see it, and it goes over those three, right through there. And way up here on the tree, like 7 feet up, right here, between right here and right there, I'm going to back up. Maybe you can see it if I back up. You see those hand marks on that tree where they scruff the bark up? So whatever does it puts their hand against the tree up higher than where my head is to take a step over that log. And that little trail goes out to this trail that I'm walking on, and then right past that and out that way. And you can see right there, like in my other videos, one of the things that I look for is see where they scuff their feet on the tops of these logs right here, and take the dead part and the moss off. That's too wide right there to be deer. Deer would do it in the same exact spot every time, but that's 3 feet wide right there and 2.5 feet wide on that one. So something scuffs that off and steps over that log right there. And then there's see this right here? Yoink. Right there is the end of that log. And it goes there behind that log and way out into the distance. Never ever touches the ground. And that's at least 100 feet long, and it's in the air all the way, and it's about 2 feet off the ground at the other end. Kyle! Now I know this is the first time I've been out in this woods since they came and sat next to me, but that was the only time before it, so I've only been out in this woods one other time. Maybe that's why they're totally quiet and don't want to say a thing. But I'm leaving, Kyle. It's obviously cold enough out here for see my breath. But that's the no-no woods at nighttime. In the fall, late fall here. We haven't had any snow yet that's fallen. Not here, but up north we have. 30 miles north of here, up in the, where there's a higher elevation. There was a couple inches of snow on the ground for a little while. Kyle! And since I believe there's dogmen in here along with the Bigfoots, Dee doesn't like paths like this. This is very enclosed. Trying to get out of here. Just a little path where you have to walk through the shoulder tall weeds and stuff. Kyle! All right. I have a neighbor when I came out. Walk down here, end of the road, point my phone away from these people. Not sure what this guy's doing. There is a factory down the road a little ways. Sometimes they come up here for a break. But this big, my light's not going to do it any justice, so it's not going to matter. But this is a giant open field, probably 1,000 acres right here. Big open field, 1,000 acres. Beautiful moon. But that's where I think that Kyle would be at in the middle of the night on the edges of these fields. Because out in these fields is where the deer would be if they eat deer. There's another car coming to get out of the road. But here's your seasonal use highway sign. Not plowed or sanded. Keep you pointed over this way so you don't get in there. Alright. And that's it. That's a no-no, woods. You have a wonderful rest of your night and do scary things. It's good for your heart.